Hello everyone, and welcome to this Ascio webinar, which will walk through the new privacy proxy service, which will launch next week. Before we start, I suggest that you can, if you have any questions, you could put them in the chat box, and then we'll run through your questions in the end of this presentation. So, I guess you know why people want to mask their public whois data. Actually, ICANN has provided some studies, and it shows that for traditional Kenobi domains, approximately 15% of registered domain are actually using privacy or proxy service of some kind. And why? That could be because someone wants to keep their identity, of course, keep their identity hidden to protect them from domain hijackers or data mining using the public whois, and some people just don't want to have their phone number or email in the public whois. Companies could also use this because they don't want their name to be associated with the launching of a new brand or marketing campaign. So they would also be interested in privacy proxy services. Now, there are several different privacy or proxy services out there in the market. They all are kind of different. They're different in what type of contact data they're masking. Ascio has launched this service by using the ICANN definitions of the two service tiers, which is a privacy service and a proxy service. A privacy service is where the registrant name is still shown in the public whois, but where all other contact details are hidden. A proxy service is a service where all contact data are hidden and even the name is not shown, but replaced with a masking name. We have set up a new company that we will use as a privacy proxy supplier. The name of the company, which will be shown in the public whois data, will be Domain Trustees, with address in London, and there will be a generic phone number attached to that, and I'll come back to how we will manage incoming calls to that number. So, how could a domain which would be masked with our privacy service look like in the public whois? As said, according to ICANN definitions, the name of the registrant will still be shown, and then all other contact data will be masked. The masking data will be static, so they will be the same for each domain name, except for the email. That will be a masking email, and we'll create a unique email for each contact type for each domain, and I'll come back to that in a minute. For privacy service, you will also have the possibility to mask or mask other contact types like admin, TXC, and billing, but that will be by your choice, and I'll come back to how to manage this. The proxy service, similar. As you can see, the registrant name now is also masked with Domain Trustees UK Limited, and all contact types are masked as well. So this service gives the customer complete anonymity. So, just to walk through the privacy service offer first. We will offer this service for ICANN governed TLDs, which are gTLDs, traditional Canobis, and also the new gTLDs. We will provide you with a list of TLDs that will be supported, and that will be available in our TLD kit, and where you'll see it in a new menu section, and I'll come back to that later where you can find it. And there will probably be most of the new gTLDs, except for a few where eligibility requirements does not allow privacy or proxy. Also, we'll try to support other launch phases that comes before general availability. It could be a good example could be the upcoming .porn and .adult, where customers who wants to register the name through a Sunrise or other limited launch phase want to register through privacy or proxy. So we offer the masking. The real registrant name, as said, will be displayed in the WHOIS as per ICANN definitions. And then there will be you'll have flexible masking options of the other contact types. We'll set up an automated mail forwarding function. There will be no Ascio staff behind each masked email and receiving and forwarding mail. That would be automated. So mail forwarding setup will be for each contact type that is masked. It will be forwarded to the real contact email address. Registrant verification, expiry reminders, and WHOIS data reminders will still be addressed to the real email address as today. The life cycle of the privacy service will follow the life cycle of the domain. So if you register, for example, a .com domain for 3 years and adding privacy or proxy to that, the privacy proxy service will also be for 3 years. And it will be renewed at expiry date of the domain, or when the domain is renewed. And the service will be invoiced separately in the Ascio billing system. The generic masked phone number or contact phone number in the privacy service is if someone wants to or calls that number, we will have set up a voice prompt where we refer them either to 2 different email addresses that they can write to. For general inquiries, it could be info@domain trustees, or if someone wants to report abuse, they should write abuse@domaintrustees.com. Both mailboxes will be monitored by us. So I have tried to set up a small mail to myself where I'm to mail to the masking email address, and my real email box, which is I have a screenshot of here, there will come an email from no-reply@domaintrustees.com, and then I'll be able to see who the sender was, and I'll also receive the body of the mail. The proxy service, identical to the privacy, but as said, all contact information will be masked. There's a difference here because according to ICANN definitions, the owner of the domain is the registrant name, which in this case will be domain trustees. And that means that we will be first line responsible for any illegal activities in connection with the domain on the website associated. You will still have We'll still provide you full management of the domain name through the portal and AWS. No change there. And for both services, we'll charge a yearly fee. A little bit more about ICANN compliance and why we have used the ICANN definitions. According to ICANN RIA, they require escrow reporting of all real contact data. This means that even if you want the domain name to be masked with privacy or proxy, you should always submit the order with the real data as you do today. The real email of the address must also still be verified by the registrant, and therefore we are another reason for why we need the real data of the registrant. Whois data reminders are submitted directly to the real email addresses as well, and they will ask the registrant to verify the real contact data, which will be in the Whois data reminder. If there are any FOAs, we'll send them also directly to the real email address. As a note, I can mention that ICANN would probably require in the future that privacy proxy providers should be accredited in the future, and it's not quite sure or known yet the timeline of this, but we are pretty sure that as a minimum they will require escrow reporting of the real data, and they will also ask for registrant verification of real emails, etc. So, and maybe follow also their definitions of a privacy and a proxy service. So, if you want to use the service, how do you get started? It's very important to mention that before you can actually use the service, you must contact your account manager in order to sign up a contract addendum or addendum for the privacy proxy service. And you might ask why, and the reason for this is that we will actually delegate the responsibility to obtain customers' consent to terms and conditions to you. Ascio will not submit any acceptance mails or whatsoever to the customer. We will delegate that to you. So that is part of that contract addendum, that you take the obligation to do this, and that you say that we will collect the consents, and in case there are any issues with law enforcement or disputes or ICANN cases, that you are able to provide us with customers' consent if we request so. A note also that will be in the terms and conditions towards the customer is that if there are any illegal activities performed in relation to the domain name, we'll hold the right to remove the service, but of course in close cooperation with you. So, a little bit about how the service is managed. Both services are managed. You can manage them through both the AWS and the Ascio Partner Portal. You can add privacy or proxy if you register or transferring in a domain. You can also, where it's possible, ask for privacy proxy through a queue launch order or launch phase queue order, where the registry allows this. You'll be able to add or remove privacy proxy for existing domains, and for that we'll use the domain details or update order. You'll still be able to update the real social data for any domain under using privacy proxy. The masking will still be maintained. We require that or domains that that customers who wants to transfer away their domains from Ascio's accreditation should remove the privacy proxy masking data. Otherwise, we'll refuse the transfer away until this is done. You will also be able to, in your portfolio, you can now, it will be possible for you to search for domains that has either privacy or proxy. And that can be done both in the portal and through AWS. As a little note here, if you are not happy with using Ascio's masking data domain trustees in London, it will be possible. It's possible for us to facilitate your own masking contact template or contact data. However, what we can offer you in this case is only escrowing of the real data and also, of course, updating the WHOIS with the registries. We cannot support mail forwarding. We will still generate these unique mails, but you have to, in case you want to, you have to set up the mail forwarding rules yourself. And also we cannot take any legal obligations in this case because it will not be our masking data behind this. Now we go into details about the orders. As said, you can add, for registration, you can add privacy or proxy. We will submit the privacy proxy data to the registry and thereby masking them in the WHOIS. We'll keep the real data for escrow and purposes and of course register and verification and so on. A queue order, similar. It will be possible to submit privacy proxy along with a queue order. For those phases where it's allowed. We will announce which phases in the individual TLD kits. Transfers, the same. You can add that if you transfer in a domain. And the same here, we will keep the real data for escrowing and register and verifications and expiry reminders. Transfer away requests, privacy proxy must be removed first using a DDU order, or we will NAC the request. If this should be the case, you will be duly notified through a callback. Domain details update order. This is the order type where you should use in order to both add or remove privacy proxy for existing domains. And what it will do is that we'll of course update the registry with the public WHOIS accordingly. Sometimes there are transfers between Ascio partners. We call it internal transfers. If this should be the case that one Ascio partner transfers the domain from another Ascio partner, the privacy proxy service will still remain. It will not be removed unless you do something actively to remove it. However, the first rule about signing the contract addendum still is valid, so the gaining partner must have signed the contract addendum as well. Otherwise, it's not possible to transfer a domain with privacy proxy. Owner change. You can. This is about changing the real owner data or the real owner of the domain. You can do that. We will maintain privacy or proxy service towards the registry. If there's a new email in the owner, we will update the registry accordingly, or set the new mail forwarding rule up. For Proxy, it's the same. We'll adjust the mail forwarding rule to the new real email address. Similar with register and details update. Partners, they can update the registrant's real contact details in case the real email is changed. We will also update the mail forwarding rule from the masking mail address to the new real email address. Contact update, also the same. You can update the real contact information on admin tech and billing. If some of these fields are masked, we will update the mail forwarding rule as well. For name server updates, there's no change. So where will you be able to find out which TLDs we support with Privacy Proxy? There will always be an updated list in the Ascio TLD kit. A new menu item, as you can see in the main menu, will be saying Privacy Proxy, and if you click that link, there'll be a table. This is just a small example from our test environment, which will then show you which TLDs offers privacy or proxy, and together with an explanation of how the service works and the terms and conditions, and there will also be a template that you can download from here to use for terms and conditions towards the customers. A small look in the Ascio portal. Excuse me. You can add that, of course, through registration, transfers, and domain details update. And there will be a new field added in the order templates, as you can see in the screenshot below. And if you select, for example, privacy, it will come 3 additional or optional fields that you can check off if you want to mask admin, tech, or billing. If you want to remove privacy or proxy from an existing domain, you would tick off the off box and submit the order with the domain name. Here's a screenshot from searching domains in the portal. We have added a filter so you can search your domains by which one has privacy or proxy. If you do that, for example, you'll get this result with domains that has privacy, and if you click on the details of one of the domains, it will show you actually also the masking details for that domain, and you can see which contact types are masked in this case. So let's go to questions, and I'll open up and see. Yes. So I have a question here. How long in advance does the proxy need to be removed as to maintain the masking of the domain during transfer? You only need to remove it just before transfer away. So I guess you don't know exactly the second when a transfer away request arrives, but you can, if you know it comes like tomorrow, then you can even remove privacy or proxy tomorrow morning. So it's a matter of just minutes before. Another question, will we see the real info when it's an internal transfer? Yes, you can see the real info, because when you get the domain in your portfolio, then the real info, real contact info is also available to you. Another question. Aha. Someone says, you have mentioned twice that the service will be billed separately, but you haven't mentioned a price, and when and where will this be available, both for using your data, but an own template with own privacy proxy details. So if this is a question about pricing, I would say that you should contact your account manager in order to have a quote and to discuss pricing, as well as signing of the contract addendum. A question here: how will systems be billing for this service when customer will be clicking turn on and turn off several times a day? Are we charged for every turning on, or is it a 1 year of ability to turn it on? That is also a matter how you set up your control panel when customers add the service. But from Ascio's side, when a customer asks for privacy proxy to us, we will invoice it for 1 year, or for minimum 1 year. And that will be it. If it's turned on and off several times a day, yes, in principle, it will be invoiced every time. But in that case, you're right. There should be a mechanism that is preventing this to happen. Question here: if a registrant wants to add privacy in January but decides to have it removed in February, will we be billed for 1 year then? Yes, that is the short answer. We are not able to invoice less than a year. We are not able to invoice per day ultimately, so it has to be per year. I hope, or I claim, the price is so low that in daily use this should not be an issue. I expect not this to be an issue. If there is an issue about this, or if you have, for example, a large bulk of domains that you want to import, you're always welcome to contact your account manager for an agreement about this. Will there be a recording available for download of this meeting? Yes. We are trying to record this. If this recording is going to shambles, I'll do another presentation for recording, so it will be available on the Ascio partner portal, and you'll be able to see and hear it there. Is it possible to register a domain name porno adult with proxy services during Sunrise B, in which priority is reserved to those who have domain names like XXX registered in the Sunrise? And my answer is that I really hope to say yes to this question. We are actually working on this and in dialogue with the registry about the terms and conditions. So we are planning to offer privacy proxy for Sunrise B for .porn and .adults. And more will be announced soon. So hopefully very soon we can tell you that it's possible. A question here: if you add privacy, for instance, a month before renewal, then you pay for 1 year, then you add it and another year when renewed. I guess it's the another variant of the same questions about how the service is invoiced. So I can also say that if a domain has expiry date in a week and I add privacy or proxy today, then you'll be charged for the service for 1 year, and then you'll be charged for another year in 1 week when the domain is renewed. So it is a per year, but hopefully this will not cause any big troubles for you. Let's see if I can add more to that. Then you pick one. No, I guess that's it. Will the proxy service working as auto-renew? The answer is yes. The service will be auto-renewed together with the domain name. So hopefully it's not a question if it's a new domain registered or transferred in, then it's in sync from day one. If you add it on an existing domain name, yes, then there will be a 1-year charge for the service. But again, the price should be in a level where this should be acceptable. Can auto-renew be turned off? Not really, but that is perhaps the same principle as domain names. Can auto-renew of a domain name be turned off? You can expire a domain. You can also say that then you need, in this case, to actively remove privacy or proxy. Otherwise, it will be renewed together with the domain. Question, will orders be created for every time it's turned on off? Well, there have to be an order to turn it on, and there must be an order to turn it off. So if that's a question, yes. That's how it works. And I have no more questions right now. If someone wants to repeat their questions, if they think I did not answer properly, please post them again or rephrase them. I do not have any more questions. Here is a question. Auto-NAC of transfer out requests of domains. Sorry, it slipped here. Auto-NAC of transfer out request of domains that is privacy enabled, will that be sent to the partner, or is it a silent NAC? It is not silent in the sense that we will provide you with a callback through AWS or callback in the portal saying that this was NAC'd due to the existence of privacy or proxy on that domain. I hope that answers the question. A question more. Can you please tell us the difference between privacy and proxy? Yes, and as I started saying, privacy is a service where you can mask all contact details except for the registrant's real name. So that will always be available or can always be seen in the public whois. Whereas proxy also hides the registrant's real name and replaces it with domain trustees as a proxy registrant. Privacy only hides the registrant's contact details. Another question. Do you build proxy service renewal along with the domain renewal, i.e. the same day, regardless of when proxy was added to the domain? And the answer is yes, it will be in sync with the renewal of the domain renewal. So there are no more questions right now. If you still have something you want to ask, then please do. I don't think so. So, with that note, I hope that you learned about the Ascio Privacy Proxy Service. And I thank you all, the audience, for listening in. And I hope that you will use our service. And thank you from my side. You're always welcome to, if you have more questions or comments or concerns, please you can contact your account manager, I guess, and they eventually could talk with me, and we'll give you a proper answer. No problem. So thank you very much.